Hey guys, how you going? I'd like to thank Elle, new Patreon. I'll be uploading a video on Patreon shortly. It's going to be an interesting one too. Okay, I felt the need to mention this because I just did. Too many people in the Q movement are still dependent on information being fed to them. They just trade it in the MSN for other info feeders and think that makes them woke. Learning how to research for yourself and using discernment makes you woke. Q wants you to learn for the long haul. And what I want to just tell you is to be careful who you follow. Even me, be careful. There are some things I'm going to get wrong, and I think some of the information in the last couple of days, I think anyone who says they have inside information is just be careful. Okay? Because we don't know who they're being fed from and what the information is, whether they are right or wrong. So just be very, very careful. I've just seen a few videos in the last few days that have made me think, oh, I don't know about this person. But that might just be me. So just be careful who you follow. And 17 said that too. Be careful who you follow. Because there are going to be people who started going with it in the beginning who then turn. But there are also going to be new people coming in who are going to be trying to lead you up the garden path. Now, I honestly don't have an agenda. All I want is the truth. I'm looking at everything I can. I'm only human. There's only so much I can look at in one day. That's why I say to you, do not believe me. Please research for yourself. Even the information that I give you, research it for yourself. Because we want to be able to do this for the long haul. We want to be able to sort out what's right and wrong for ourselves for the long haul. It doesn't mean don't listen to anyone. It just means, because there were some good points down here as well. Not everyone has the same skill level or time. The threads are very helpful. People spend a lot of time compiling them. Then people can look further and come to their own conclusions. I am very grateful to all. I am very dependent. It's difficult to sort through everything. I'm aged and not as quick as I used to be, and life gets in the way. Should I drop everything and research? I pray every day. Okay, and one more. Exactly, I keep notifications on for certain accounts because they spitfire information, but I gather it and make my own theories in my head, especially when I'm alone, drinking an ice cold beer and vaping, apparently. So just really be careful who you follow, guys. And you're going to get the people out there who still believe in mainstream media, and they read mainstream media stories and they create panic from that. If you're panicking, you are not doing anyone, especially yourself, any good. We need to sit back and we need to use logic and discernment when we're dealing with all of this. And anyone who's followed 17 from the beginning knows. I don't know how, we just know. Go and read QAnon.pub. Search it and read it. You can. There's even a little, I'm going to show you, hang on. There's even a little arrow at the top of the page which you can click to go from the beginning. I'll show you. It's even on your phone. If you do it on your phone, you can see it. Oh, once that loads up. Okay, in the meantime, here we go. This little arrow here next to the search and filter. Okay? Be careful who you... There you go, right in front of me. Thank you, and on to bring this to our attention. Be careful who you follow. Follow the money, follow the expenses. Okay, be careful who you follow. And there are people who are going to come. They attempt to infiltrate, repackage and rebrand as their own profit vehicle, destroy through misinformation, absorb the confused. Route traffic to other platforms. Action was needed. Prevent false decodes, misinformation. Okay, just be careful who you follow. Some are profiting off this movement. I'm just trying to keep myself going. I just want to get off. I just want to be able to be independent, but I'm not trying to make a whole lot of money. I'm not trying to sell you anything during my videos. So, but this is how we have to. I followed this from the beginning. And this is just everything he says and no outside comms. So anyone claiming to be Q, unless it comes from Donald Trump's mouth, I don't believe it. We need someone to ask the question, who is Q? Okay, now, is Daniel Andrews, this is for Australia, deleting damning evidence? Well, the plot thickens because there was a factory fire explosion in Victoria at MRI Recycling is somehow government connected. Apparently this company recycles electrical equipment, destroying all data. Could this be another coincidence? Disposing of sensitive data? Is someone trying to cover up? Okay, and Duffy on Twitter says it was MRI Recycling. They process computers, TVs and phones. They also offer a government-approved on-site data deletion service. Occurred at 4 a.m. with a rapid series of explosions, approximately 5 per second for 40 minutes, 120,000 small booms. Okay? What happens to all your data once your device has reached its use-by date? The most important part of an end-of-use computer, tablet or mobile phone is mostly common company, personal or sensitive data stored on the device. Often a simple delete or reformat is totally inadequate in this situation, as data can still be recovered and used for illicit purposes. MRI can assist by offering total physical destruction of servers, hard drives, mobile phones and other data storage devices. Our methods meet the strictest of standards and comply with US Department of Defense requirements. We also offer a secure chain of custody for the removal and transport of sensitive data, storage devices back to our facility and certificates of data destruction. Okay, that's the MRI eCycle Solutions. Secure data wiping, hard drive destruction, compliance and certifications. Our customers are as diverse as the types of equipment we reuse and recycle. They include brand owners who need to dispose of obsolete stock and warranty claims, and corporate and government departments with enormous equipment turnover requirements, right through to small businesses, decluttering and local councils providing e-waste services to their residents. And read below, it says the government uses their services. TAFE New South Wales and Victoria, Australian National University, ING Direct, Department of Defence, Australian Museum, Victorian State Emergency Services, New South Wales Department of Corrective Services. Okay, so explosions and fires have been happening at key infrastructures all over the world. Something's definitely up. Are they trying to bury us, covering things up? And that was from Chuk Chuk. There you go. There's also a post here about Australia's 17th Prime Minister, Harold Holt, went missing in 1967, and people use the term, he did the Harry Holt, which means they ran away, which is quite bad if you think about it. Presumed drowned. Before he was a Liberal, he was a member of the UAP. Have a look at his values. Do you really think he drowned? The ideals of the United Australia. The only policy that can save Australia and Australian industries is one of the straight out, honest and loyalty to the traditions of Australia and the Empire. So long as oppressive, communistic principles of governments continue, money will not be invested in Australia, new factories will not be established, and unemployment cannot be absorbed. The United Australia Party will restore confidence in Australia and throughout the world. Money will return, the wheels of industry will revolve again, and prosperity will be regained. Down with the communists. The decent, loyal citizens who comprise the overwhelming majority of Australians can rely on the United Australia Party to destroy the Red Menace. The United Australia Party will rout out the communists, stamp out disloyal and revolutionary teaching of young children, and give all loyal citizens the protection, which the Australian Constitution promised. Do you know why they got rid of him now? Bet you he was murdered. Away with inflation and protect the people's money. The money in Australia banks belongs to the people who put their money in them. If the United Australia Party is elected, it will pass legislation that will prevent, for all time, any possible inflation of Australian currency. The Commonwealth Bank will be made impregnable against political interference, and by this means the financial stability of Australia and the savings of the Australian people will be safeguarded for all time. On with primary production. The strength of Australia today, as always, lies in the strength of Australia's great primary industries. So long as primary producers are hard hit, they cannot employ labour or buy goods, and thousands of city workers must be unemployed. The United Australia Party will concentrate on restoring the prosperity of the country as the quickest means by which Australia can recover. Renew world confidence. The actions of the communist politicians have destroyed the credit of Australia. Already millions of pounds have fled from the Commonwealth, millions have fled from New South Wales to other states, and overseas manufacturers will not establish factories in Australia for fear of communist legislation. With the United Australia Party in power, confidence will be restored here and abroad. Work with all your might for the United Australian Party, which will restore Australia to her former position as a great community of British people and the envy of the world. Vote for the United Australia candidates. There you go. That is why. That is why he died. Okay. And from Darkly Illuminated. America's secret VHST very high-speed transport system thread. As some of you might know, the US is rumoured to have secret high-speed VHST very high-speed transit system. It is used from anywhere to shuttling workers around secret underground bases, to use by favoured corporations, shadow government personnel, black ops, etc. It is rumoured to cruise at speeds of 14,000 miles per hour, making a trip from LA to New York in 21 minutes. Government whistleblowers and retired military personnel have publicly stated that during their employment they observed that our government has a massive network of tunnels with super-velocity trains linking the secret underground bases. Thomas Costello, the former Dulce base security officer, reported to an associate that Dulce had a tube shuttle station linked to several other underground bases. At first, hearing these statements seemed too far out to be true. We've all seen television shows about tunnels, and they always show how expensive, dangerous and disastrous near-surface tunnel construction can be. So obviously an undertaking such as constructing a massive sci-fi-like network of underground tunnels would take too much money and hundreds of years to build. Not so, say scientists, and there's links in here, so I'll include these down below. I'll put the links for the... You follow it, and honestly guys, you decide for yourself. In 1972, Robert M. Salter, lead scientist of the RAND Corporation, announced during an interview with the LA Times science writer George Getz that a high-speed system could be built using existing 1972 technologies. He also stated that the system should be built for environmental and economic reasons. What kinds of speeds was he talking about? Try 10,000 miles per hour. Potential entrances to these so-called DUMs here. There's links all through this. Here's some Los Alamos patents for the drilling machines used to bore the tunnels. I've seen them, they are amazing. Big circular things that bore through tunnels. If you're wondering where did the money come from to build such an elaborate underground system, September the 10th, 2001, that Rumsfeld admitted to Congress that $2 trillion are missing from the defence budget. That will pay for a lot of tunnels. Also just a coincidence, that was the day prior to 9/11. According to some estimates, we cannot track 2.3 trillion in transactions, Rumsfeld admitted. 2.3 trillion, that's $8,000 for every man, woman and child in America. To understand how the Pentagon can lose track of trillions, consider the case of one military accountant who tried to find out what happened to a mere 300 million. We know it's gone, but we don't know what they spent it on, said Jim Minery, Defence, Finance and Accounting Service. Anyway, back to the tech and tunnels. I would like to raise the issue of G effects on the human body or no G effects. Now, I beg of you all to keep an open mind. If, and a big if, you believe in aliens and alien technology, and if we have or have had access to this technology, and assuming we know how their flying machines, aka UFOs, work, then I guess we're good to go, considering that it has been reported they can accelerate from 0 to 0 to serious speeds, from 0 to serious speeds, speculation, that would put the occupants at risk of becoming a pool of something biological in the seat they were occupying. We can assume there's some sort of neutralising force within the vessel. Now back to this subterranean tunnel train. Could the same technology not be used? Yes, possibly. Again, why would anyone even have an idea or design, etc., of something like this if the dangers were pretty obvious? Regardless of technology restrictions, the first thought would be, how does the human body stand up to that sort of acceleration, deceleration, and can we assume they had the answer? So why go as far as to even suggest this as a possible form of transport? Thinking? So my point is, if this was a serious possibility proposal, or is in operation, then there must be technology to counter any unwanted effects. And when you think about the technology, they are way ahead of what we think. To counter any unwanted effects the human body would need to endure. Damn, I hope I was making sense. But again, we already know we cannot withstand that sort of G-force. However, facing backward, the human body can endure 50 Gs without any serious effects. Without any serious after effects. So let's say even if we can tolerate 10% of that, I guess the acceleration and deceleration stage wouldn't be that bad. We know William Knight in a X-15A-2 reached a speed of 4,519 miles per hour in 1967. And it's there, included, the link. So it is 53 years later, 14,000 miles per hour, dollars per hour? My God. Hell yeah, why not? It's possible in my honest opinion. We know the effectiveness of magnetic propulsion. G-dampening has been possible since 73, with elimination possible by 78. Don't expect to see it used in the public eyes anytime soon. Too many questions to answer. Just remember, your government has your best interests at heart, and such transit systems don't exist. They would tell you, right? Well, maybe our POTUS would, we would hope. What do you think? And I'll include that thread down below. Now, this was one of the reasons that I had thought that the planes that were taking people out. Breaking news, a plane from South Sudan with hundreds of children bound for Spain was busted, saving the children. Where we go one, we go all. No, that wasn't actually mine. This is another spin on that. This one here, hundreds of children were bound for Spain. So they caught them trafficking, the children. But my theory on the planes that are coming in and out of Melbourne are they're taking their people home. Because in India, just recently, there was a plane crash as it was landing, or near landing, and it was full of Indian people being taken back home. Now, my logic tells me that that's what is happening with the rest of these planes. And I know people are saying they're bringing people in, they're going to take over. So let me know what you guys think, because I just think there's no point in being scared. I would rather everybody look at this with a logical point of view and leave your emotions out of it. So, and honestly, just be careful who you listen to, because some people are driving the fear. Okay? I'm not saying anyone in particular. I am just what I notice and what I noticed in my comments section. Okay, so just be very, very careful, guys, who you follow. That's all I can say. Including me. Okay, I'm just looking for the truth. I have no agenda, but just still be careful. Because I may be wrong with certain things. Okay, guys, don't forget it's up to you what you believe, and it's up to you to dig. Okay? If you're hearing on the news that, oh, Trump signed this executive order and he's going to remove Social Security, well, no, he just gave them another $400 and extended it. He also gave homeowners and renters protection from being evicted until the end of the year. He has also given anyone earning under $100,000 a tax holiday until the end of the year. And he has suspended student loans till the end of the year. So when you hear the news say something, go and look the exact executive order up yourself. Don't, even if the news has printed out part of it, go and look at it for yourself. You'll find out, okay? That's what I mean when I say don't run on emotion. Try and use logic. And anyone still listening to mainstream media, I mean, if you're aware and you know what's going on, by all means, but if you listen to it and you believe any of mainstream media, then you're going to have a little bit of a hard time. And that includes anyone reading from mainstream media on the truther side, because they're still falling for it. So please, guys, open your eyes and understand why we say turn your TV off, turn the media off. Because all they're going to do is strike fear into people. And that's not what you need. The worst thing you can do in an emergency is panic. Okay? We need to remain calm. And we need to look at this with open eyes and all do our own research, because it's the only way you're going to find out the truth for yourself. And 17 was a wake up. It was a wake up to get us to start looking and not be slack, because that's how we got into this situation. Because we just listened to other people and believed them. You need to dig yourself. I've been trying for 10 to 12 years, and I'm digging and I'm digging and I'm still digging, and I still don't know everything. And that's why if everyone makes their own channel and starts digging around on different things you find, we can all bring it together. And anyone who's dividing the movement, now I don't mean just me saying be careful of people. This is another reason why I say it, because there are people who are trying to divide the movement. Just look for yourself, listen to whoever you want to, but please check on the information for yourself. Okay, guys, I hope you have a good one. And as I said, Patreons, you got a video coming. Okay, guys, have a good one. Bye.